And welcome again to Chrissy Speaks to You. So that was the accomplished Anita Baker and her song Lonely. And who's one of my favorite singers ever since I was a little girl. Go figure. Listen to Anita Baker as a young child. Anyway, so today I want to talk about divine timing. Um, Divine timing is basically everything happening exactly when it's supposed to happen. You're at the exact right place where you're supposed to be when things happen in your life. Honestly, I didn't like to hear about divine timing too much because I felt like I want it now. Whatever it is I want it right now. I don't want to wait for it. Why should I have to wait for it? Especially, I feel like I'm a Christian, I'm a child of God. If I pray about something, then I should get it right then, right? No. Everything has its divine timing. So, one of the best examples that I can use is me being single. And I know this is like a broken record talking about being single, but that's the best example I could use right now. Um, so, I'm 41 years old. I'll be 42 in February, which is not that far away. I've never been married. I don't have any children. Um, when I was in my 20s, I just had this whole vision of I would be married by 28, 29, start having children in my early 30s and, have my career and, live regular life. Well, as you can see, that didn't happen. So I'm still single. I have a career, but I'm still single and no children. And so I would have, over the years, I've matured in this area. But I still, to be honest, I still have my moments where I'd be like, okay, guys, so what's going on with this? But what I can say is that when I was younger, I thought that everything would be lining up the way it should because society says this is what you supposed to have by a certain age or a certain time. And it don't work like that. Everyone has their own journey. Everyone has their own path that they have to walk. And that's something I had to learn the hard way. Just because people my age may be married, may have children. Some people my age have grandchildren. And here I am still, no children, no husband, nothing. But that doesn't make my life less of a value. Or if you're like me, it doesn't make your life less valuable than theirs because they have that. And so what I had to learn that God does things in divine timing. And I was reading about this in a book called Ministry of Helps by Buddy Bell. He talked about timing. And he talked about the story of Elijah and Elisha and how Elisha followed and served Elijah for years. And he served. And he wanted, at some point, he asked for a double portion of Elijah's spirit. And so he ended up receiving it. However, it was all in divine timing. For years, he served. He didn't get any of that. He served. But then once Elijah left, he received it. So it was all divine timing. Everything had its proper place and proper time. And so again, me being the age I am doesn't mean that God is not going to redeem the time in my life. Just like if you're in the same situation, God can redeem the time in your life. So again, I struggled for years with this whole timing thing. Uh, my sister Bridget and I had this joke about it not being your season. I used to get so mad when people say, "Oh, well, maybe it's just not your season." I said, "Well, it seems like every time I turn around, it's somebody else's season but mine." So, so when we talk about divine timing, what that means is that you have to rest in God and say, "You know what, God, I'm gonna trust you. I'm not gonna lean to my own understanding, and I'm just gonna trust that everything is gonna fall into proper place when it's supposed to." Not when I want it, but when God says it's time. Now, there can be times when we might delay things or cancel out things because of disobedience or, things that may have happened that may delay it. The enemy, he can come and delay things as well, if we give him access to that. So, with that being said, all the time we don't have to look to what society says and what the world says we should be doing at certain points in our lives. Because guess what? At the end of the day, this is your life. God has a special blueprint of life just for you. That's yours. And just because somebody had a baby at 18 don't mean somebody can't have a baby at 45. I've seen it happen. I've heard it. I've seen the testimonies. And whatever the case may be, if it's like you want to be a certain income bracket, you should have felt like you should have been making this amount of money by this age. God can redeem the time. You have time. And you just have to trust God that, you know what, I'm not going to lean to my own understanding. And I'm just going to trust God that I'm at the right place at the right time in my life. And I'm not going to be in competition with nobody else and what they got going on in their lives. I'm going to celebrate other people. Hey, you get married, congratulations. Having a baby, congratulations. You got a promotion on the job, congratulations. All of that. Because I know that God is going to raise me up, and you're going to realize too that God's going to raise you up at the appointed time. So, with that being said, have a good night, and I'll see you on the next go round. Bye.